Hi guys, today I'm gonna explain how to memorize and know every note on the guitar fretboard, and at the end I'm gonna give you guys 2 exercises you can do anywhere, anytime, so you can know every note on the fretboard as quickly as possible. Now, on the guitar it takes time to know all the notes. You can't really see it clearly in black and white like in the piano, for instance. And I think knowing every note on the fretboard is extremely important, and it's gonna improve your playing for sure. Now, this method I'm gonna explain and I'm gonna talk about is not just for newbies, it's not for beginners. I use it too. I mean, it's not for newbies, quite the contrary. I use it too to this day, and I find it extremely effective. So let's get right to it. To get familiar with the entire fretboard, with every note on the fretboard, you just have to memorize 2 notes on each string. 2 notes, that's it. You have to memorize 2 reference points, that's it. And those 2 notes are gonna be the 5th fret and the 7th fret on each string. 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret on each string, that's it. Now, the 5th fret on each string is called a perfect 4th from the open string. For instance, if this is E, this is a perfect 4th from E. And the 7th fret on each string is called the perfect 5th. For instance, if this is A, this is a perfect 5th from A. Now, a perfect 4th is 2.5 tones or 5 semitones. For instance, this is the 3rd fret, and this is 5 semitones above it, or 2.5 tones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 8th fret is a perfect 4th above the 3rd fret, and the perfect 5th is 3.5 tones or 7 semitones. For instance, if you take this note right here on the 2nd fret, a perfect 5th above it will be 7 frets above it in the 9th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This note is a perfect 5th above this note. Now, look at the circle below. This circle is called the circle of 5th, or and it's also called the circle of 4th. It depends on how you look at it. If you look at it clockwise, it's the circle of 5th. For instance, the note G is a perfect 5th above the note C. Look right here. This is the note C, and a perfect 5th above it, meaning 7 frets above it, is G. This is C, and this is G. 7 frets above it. This is the 1st fret, this is the 8th fret. And if you look at the circle counterclockwise, it's the circle of 4th. For instance, the note F is 1 perfect 4th above the note C. If we again come back to the note C, and if we go up a perfect 4th, meaning 2.5 tones or 5 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is F, this is C, this is F. Now, once you memorize just these 2 notes on each string, just the 5th fret and the 7th fret, there won't be a single point, there won't be a single note on the fretboard which will be further away, which will be further than 1 step above a familiar reference point. For instance, if you look at the 9th fret, it's only 1 step above the 7th fret, which you'll know by now. Or if you look at the 6th fret, it's 1/2 step above this point right here, which you'll know, and it's also 1 step below this point, which you'll know. Look at the 4th fret, it's 1/2 step below the perfect 4th, the 5th fret. Now, just a reminder, I'm sure most of you guys know that on each string, the 12th fret is 1 octave above the open string. For instance, if this note is A, the 12th fret is also A. And on most guitars, the inlay on the 12th fret is a bit different. For instance, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the 12th fret there are 2 dots, and on the other inlays have 1 dot, and the 12th fret have 2. These 2 dots are indicating the octave fret. Now, I just gave you a method to memorize the first 12 frets, but it behaves the same after the 12th frets towards the end. For instance, look at the first inlay, the first trapeze on this guitar. This note right here is the exact same note as this note, because this is the first inlay at the beginning of the fretboard, and after the 12th fret it behaves the same. So this is the first inlay after the 12th fret. This is the 12th fret, so this note right here is the exact same note as this one, and this is the note between the second and third inlay, so it will be the exact same note as this one. This is the first inlay, second, third, so this one is the exact same note as this one. So all you gotta do is master the first 12 frets, then at the rest of the guitar it behaves the same. So once you get familiar with this area right here, you're basically done. Now, before I'm gonna give you the 2 exercises, you have to make sure you know the 5th and 7th notes on each string. That's basically 10 notes, because these 2, A and B, are the exact same notes as these 2, A and B, because this is an E string and this is an E string. So we have to remember these 10: A, B, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, F sharp, and again A and B. Once you memorize these 10, I'm sure you're gonna learn them really quickly. Then you can practice these 2 exercises. The first exercise is very simple. You just play a random note on the guitar and you say its name. That's it. For instance, I played the 8th fret on the G string. So the way I want you to do this is to say the note's name using the closest from reference point. For instance, this is the 8th fret, and the closest reference point is the 7th fret, the perfect 5th. So this note is D, so this is D sharp or E flat. Now let's do another one. Let's do this note right here, the 11th fret on the B string. So of course the closest reference point is the 12th fret, which is the octave, which is B. So this is B flat. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you can do this exercise anywhere, anytime. So you can just think of a note. You can say, for instance, what is the 4th fret on the A string? You don't need a guitar to do it. Of course, it's easier with the guitar, but you don't need a guitar. So on the A string, the 5th fret, again, we want to say the 4th fret on the A string. And I'm not gonna play it. So the 5th fret on the A string is the perfect 4th, which is D. So the 4th fret is D flat. So this is D flat. So that was the first exercise. Now the second exercise, it's a bit trickier, it's a bit harder. Basically it's the first exercise, but it goes the other way around. In the first exercise, we just played a random note and we said its name. Now I want you to say a note, and we're gonna find out where it is on each string. For instance, let's play the note C on each string. On each of the 6 strings, you can play the note C. You have every note on every string. I hope you guys know that. So on each string, let's play the note C using the reference points. For instance, on the 1st string and on the 6th string, which are both E, it's gonna be on the 8th fret. fret, because the 7th fret is B. That's a perfect 5th above E. B is a perfect 5th above E. And C is 1/2 step above B. Now, let's find the note C on the B string. On the B string, it's really easy, it's just 1/2 step above it. So this is B and this is C. Now, let's move on to the G string. C is 1 perfect 4th above G. I mean, C is one of the familiar reference points on the G string, so it's on the 5th fret. Let's move on to the D string. This is D, so of course this is D, and C is 1 step below C. Excuse me, C is 1 step below D. So this is D, and this is C, so it's gonna be on the 10th fret. Moving on to the 5th string. This is A. You can do it in 2 ways. This is D, it's a perfect 4th above A, and C again is 1 step below D. Or you can just, you know, it's C and A are really close. You can just go like A, B, C. And last, the E string. Of course, we already did an E string. It was here, so this is also C. So that's it, guys. I hope you find this information helpful and interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I would be very grateful if you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.